the tennis world may still be catching up. But Filipino fans understood what was happening before the rankings could fully reflect it. Alex Eala did not simply arrive at Wimbledon to participate. She walked onto the most famous grass courts in tennis and proved that she could compete under Grand Slam pressure, challenge elite opponents, and carry the hopes of an entire nation without allowing that responsibility to overwhelm her. Now, the number creating excitement is world no. 28. Lacasis projected new career high position after her historic Wimbledon run. She collected 240 ranking points by reaching the fourth round, lifting her projected total to 1,666 points. At the time of this update, the official WTA profile still lists her at no. 32, because the complete post-Wimbledon rankings have not yet been formally applied, but live calculations place her 4 positions higher, at no. 28 tennis. 365. That distinction is important. This is not about presenting a projection as an official announcement before the rankings are finalized. It is about understanding what Alex has earned on the court and what her rapid rise says about the direction of her career. For years, Filipino tennis supporters have celebrated every step, every qualifying victory, every appearance against a recognized opponent, every ranking milestone that brought her closer to the sport's biggest stages. But this Wimbledon campaign felt different. Alex was no longer simply the talented young Filipina trying to gain experience against established names. She entered as a seeded player, won 3 matches, reached the last 16, and became the first Filipino player to advance that far in a Grand Slam singles event. Wimbledon, and she did not take an easy road. After overcoming Renata Zarazua and Maya Joint, Alex stepped onto center court against defending champion Iga Swiatek. This was the kind of match that can expose a rising player. The court is bigger. The attention is louder. Every mistake feels heavier because millions of viewers are watching. But instead of shrinking under the occasion, Alex played with courage. She attacked with her left-handed patterns, absorbed pressure from the baseline, and refused to let Swiatek control every exchange. She won a tense opening set before taking command of the second, completing one of the biggest victories of the tournament, and reaching her first Grand Slam 4th round. Wimbledon, that performance, was about more than one upset. It showed that Alex's game is developing into something that can trouble top-level opponents. Her left-handed serve naturally sends the ball into uncomfortable positions, especially when she changes direction instead of becoming predictable. On grass, where the ball stays lower and points can develop quickly, that variety becomes even more valuable. Her return game may be just as important. Alex often looks to take the ball early, reduce her opponent's reaction time, and turn a neutral rally into an attacking opportunity. Against powerful servers, that approach carries risk. She can be rushed or forced into errors. But when her timing is sharp, she applies pressure before the server has established control. Her movement also deserves attention. Grass requires shorter adjustment steps, disciplined balance, and the confidence to move forward when the opening appears. Alex showed that she is becoming more comfortable transitioning from defense into attack instead of remaining trapped behind the baseline. Still, perhaps the biggest development was mental. She faced difficult moments and did not immediately lose her structure. She handled the expectation of playing as a seed. She recovered when momentum moved against her. And even when the Wimbledon journey ended against Jasmine Palani, Alex fought through 3 sets before the experienced Italian prevailed, 6-4, 4-6, 6-3. Reuters there was disappointment. Of course, every competitor wants to keep going. Once a player reaches the 4th round, the quarterfinals suddenly feel close enough to touch. Alex had already beaten the defending champion. Filipino supporters were dreaming. The possibility of another historic victory felt real. But losing to Pauline did not erase what came before it. In fact, that match revealed another important part of Alex's progress. She was tested by an opponent with Grand Slam experience, intelligent court positioning, and the ability to raise her level at critical moments. Alex still pushed the contest into a deciding set. That is valuable information for her team at this level. The difference is often not a dramatic weakness. It can be one loose service game, one missed return opportunity, or one sequence in which an experienced opponent recognizes the moment faster. Alex's next step will be learning how to protect her rhythm when the match becomes uncomfortable. She must continue improving the reliability of her serve under pressure. She will need to choose carefully when to attack the net and when to remain patient. She must avoid forcing winners too early when an opponent successfully changes the pace. And as more players study her patterns, she will have to keep adding variety. A higher ranking brings rewards, but it also brings new pressure. Moving toward the world's top 25 could improve Alex's position in future tournament draws. It may help her avoid certain highly ranked opponents in the earliest rounds. It could place her into more prominent matches and offer greater opportunities at major WTA events. But nothing becomes easy. The players around this level are experienced, physically strong, and tactically prepared. Many have already reached major finals, won WTA titles, or spent years competing against the best. Alex will no longer surprise everyone. Opponents will prepare specifically for her left-handed serve, her preferred cross-court patterns, and her aggressive returning position. That is the challenge of becoming a serious contender. First, the tennis world notices you. Then, it studies you. Finally, it asks whether you can keep winning when everyone is ready. For Alex, the projected rise to no. 28 is therefore not the end of the story. It is an invitation to enter a more demanding chapter. And she will enter that chapter with extraordinary support. From Manila to Cebu, from Filipino families watching at home to overseas workers checking results during difficult hours, Alex's matches have become shared national moments. Around 8,000 supporters gathered at a Manila viewing event during her Wimbledon run, demonstrating how deeply her journey is connecting with the country. Reuters, young Filipino athletes are watching too. They are seeing someone from the Philippines compete on center court, defeat a defending Grand Slam champion, and move closer to the highest levels of women's tennis. That visibility matters. It changes what young players believe is possible. Alex is carrying Pinoy pride, but she is also building something even greater, a path. The rankings may show no. 28. When the points are officially updated, the records will show a historic fourth-round appearance. The highlights will show the victory over Swiatek and the brave battle against Pauline. But the real meaning of Wimbledon may only become clear later. Perhaps this was the tournament where Alex Eala stopped being described merely as a promising young player. Perhaps this was the moment she began proving that she belongs in the conversation with the sport's serious contenders. The journey will not move in a perfectly straight line. There will be difficult draws, early defeats, and matches where her best tennis does not appear. That is normal. Every great career is built through adaptation, disappointment, and the courage to return stronger. But one thing has changed. When Alex Eala enters her next major tournament, the world will be watching differently. Not because of hype, because of evidence. What do you think, Kabayan? Can Alex turn this projected career high ranking into an even bigger breakthrough during the next stage of the WTA season? Share your prediction in the comments, and tell us how high you believe she can climb. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for more Alex Eala updates, Filipino tennis stories, and major news from across the WTA Tour.